After a very long, hot summer here in the state of Maryland, the calendar changes and September is finally upon us, which means that it is officially football season. Welcome everyone to Whittles Field on the campus of Archbishop Spalding in Severn, Maryland, as the Archbishop Spalding Cavaliers open up their season against the Broadneck High School Bruins. So glad to have you all with us tonight from wherever you're watching. I'm Christian Taylor, joined by Mr. J.R. Kent for this one tonight. I'll tell you what, J.R., you've played football before. This is an exciting start to the season.
Man, it's Friday Night Lights. First game of the season. You got a big home crowd. What more could you ask for?
Well, these two teams, they had some successful seasons last year, a lot of winning records, but they're back playing again tonight after Archbishop Spalding had a very nice victory over Broadneck last season. But, when talking with Coach Schmidt before this game, he had some ideas on what ways to try and beat Broadneck today as we go through our keys to the game for tonight for Archbishop Spalding. And, I'll tell you what, they have a lot of different things that kind of need to go their way tonight, but you can kind of see them there on the left side of your screen. One of the things that Broadneck do really, really well is they kind of trick you with some explosive plays. So Coach Smith remembers that, and he's making sure that they can try and contain those today. Secondly, the field position, and that was another big reason why they were able to do so many good things last year in their exhibition as well. They were able to try and keep things close. They won the field position battle. They figured they can try and win it here tonight. And obviously, no turnovers, JR. That's really the name of the game, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Whoever can hold on to the ball the most and create turnovers has the best chance to win this game.
Well, these two teams as well, they have some incredible players. They've lost a lot, but they're bringing some guys back. And firstly, for Spalding, there's so many good players on this team, but Kayshawn Flowers, the player to watch for Archbishop Spalding today. I tell you what, when just looking at him and seeing him out there on the field, he is pretty menacing, isn't he?
Man, he looks like he's ready for the nice game.
I tell you what, he's already looking at many different areas to try and hop to the next level. When I asked Coach Schmidt, who really stands out to you, he really did not hesitate on naming Flowers, and he really controls that defense. But, on the Broadneck side of things, they are bringing in a lot of new players, but one of those players is their quarterback, and he is our player to watch for Broadneck, Cameron Catterton, who actually just transferred in Catterton from South River. And I'll tell you what, he began his career with Broadneck, Cameron Catterton, and this season he really has a nice opportunity to show what else he can bring to this Broadneck Bruins side. So he's certainly geared up. Tell you what, Coach Harris is really excited for something like this, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be an exciting matchup tonight here, JR.
For sure. I'm excited to see who shows that they are the star of each team, find out who is who, and hopefully this is a great game tonight.
Oh, I'm telling you what, the crowd is here. We see all this behind us. We see just a few of the captains coming out here for the coin toss as well. The cheerleaders are all lined up. It was hard getting in here. You had to kind of swim through people just to get at least up here. And, we're in a high press box, so we had to walk all the way up, out of breath by the time we get up here, right? But tell you what, gorgeous evening, too.
Great Friday afternoon. Good weather. This is everything you ask for as a high school athlete. Friday night, you got a packed crowd. There's not too many seats available right now. So.
That is the other thing about this, too, because it's private versus public, too, so there's just another little element to it, just like a hidden element to it that's just so hard to miss in a night like this. And you can just feel the anticipation right now. Obviously, the captains are out there for these two teams, but once the Cavaliers run on out here, we're going to pause and listen to them once they run out here, but you're going to have to imagine, I think this press box will probably be shaking by the time they get out here.
Man, I feel like on the opening play kickoff, that's going to set the tone. That's going to set the tone every time. Whether it It might be a touchback, big hit, maybe even a big block. You never know. Anything can happen. It's Friday Night Lights.
They will let you know. They will let you know. We might not even have to describe too much of it. The crowd may just do it for us tonight.
Look, they're still filling in. I see some Broadneck fans, see some Spalding fans, a lot of Spalding fans, of course, but some Broadneck fans are making their way into the stadium, filling the seats. So it should be an exciting one.
Well, these two teams last season now, Archbishop Spalding, they remembered their very disappointing end to the year. They were perfect through all the regular season, really didn't have much trouble. And actually, here come the players down this left-hand side. You can hear the crowd as these Cavaliers are just about set and ready to go for this 2022 season, carrying the flag, wearing their extremely bright red jerseys. I assume, folks, they show up really well on your monitors at home, but they're really bright here in person as well. We'll just admire what happens here. By the way, that is Damian Wilburn, the senior defensive lineman. Yeah, that's how you do it, isn't it?
Bring the crowd into it early.
So Spalding, again, they had a fantastic regular season last year, but then, came the postseason. They played off against McDonough, lost just a very simple 7-0, kind of shocking loss when talking with Kyle Schmidt, but something that they're going to try to avenge this season. Meanwhile, for Broadneck, they went 8-2 for the regular season, lost their first playoff game, ended up losing to Flowers in the postseason, so that's what dropped them down to 8-2 overall for last season. But once again, also with Rob Harris, they lost some people. Some guys have moved their way up to Division I as well, but they're bringing in some people and a good chance to regroup for this year. We'll pause here for the moment as the national anthem will play here.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful night and the opportunity to celebrate your awesome power and will through sport and fellowship. We gather as family, friends, and competition to compete and bring out the best in each other. We pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. At this time, we ask that you please stay standing for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, crowd pretty amped up and ready to go here as these two teams and coaches will perhaps say one final thing to each other. If you're a player in an opening game like this, what's the thought process before lining up there for the first time?
Really good. Talk to my teammates as much as possible. Create as much positive energy as possible and, just get the crowd into it early. I want to use my home field advantage from Spalding, from Broadneck. I mean, I don't know about their fans, but right now they just have each other. So it's team, stay team, cheer team, be for team, be a great teammate Even if you're in the game, not in the game, just be a great teammate. That's the best thing I can give. Any advice for either team.
Imagine if Broadneck throw an interception or fumble the ball or something, you hear this huge Spalding crowd get in you. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. But here we go. Kicking off is Broadneck. Spalding will begin the season, and off we go. Caught at just about the 10-yard line. It is Tyler Brown who takes it just across the 30-yard line and will set up shop for the Cavaliers. So Broadneck, they wear the white here tonight, visiting from Annapolis, Maryland. Spalding, of course, wearing the home Reds tonight, and this will be our first chance to take a look at the quarterback, Mr. Malik Washington, just a sophomore. He is massive out there. Does not look like a sophomore at all.
Man, he definitely commands the huddle just from watching. Oh, good pass, Malik. Just from watching in pre-games. He was locked in the whole time. He communicated great with his teammates, and they're already going no huddle.
That's right. They're already lining up here. By the way, that was caught by Tyler Brown for a gain of about 5 there. Second down. He does hand the ball off and just gets beyond the line of scrimmage. And Broadneck certainly looking to try and stop them here on third down. That was carried by Caden Curtis, the junior. Now, we haven't even played a minute yet. It's already third down. Spalding about to run their third play here. Washington, he does hand it off again, and it's a first down gain from Caden Curtis, and he gains about 5 more. Very efficient there on all 3 plays.
Every play so far, they've gained positive yards, so that's all you can ask for.
1 minute gone here. Thank you for tuning in again. Christian Taylor, J.R. Kent here with me. Washington takes it, throws it to his right-hand side, finds Max Moss. He'll get a lot of targets this season and carries one through for a first down. Continue to roll the offense here, and fascinating here from Coach Smith too, just continuing to run this offense, making sure that Broadneck get tired out there, leaving them out there. Washington immediately throws it right back to Moss. Cuts to his left-hand side, looks to split the defenders, and is tackled after about a gain of, once again, about 7 yards. Just continuing to roll here, this offense.
Man, they don't look like to be slowing down anytime soon.
Nobody has switched off yet for Broadneck defensively. Second down and about 3 to go. A bullet pass just beyond the young freshman, Aaron Igwebe. And it's really the first time the clock has stopped here. It's third down and 3 again.
Aaron Igwebe, incomplete. Third down.
Second, third down of the drive. See what they do here.
Takes a long look to his coach on the sideline. Washington, somebody who can do so many different things here. And third and short to go. He does hand the ball off again, finds Curtis. Curtis did enough of maneuvering to get another first down. And they move those chains one more time. Marching down the field here, already have worked it to the opposite 30-yard line. He takes the snap again immediately. Curtis given the ball one more time and pushes forward for about 3. Second down and about 7 to go.
Shout out to the O-line. They're holding it down right now. In the run game, it's been a positive play every single time.
Yeah, you mentioned that O-line. There's a lot of guys who were starters at a lot of times last season. Dylan Jones, Jason Shipman, Caden Leonard. A lot of these guys who are going to be making some big noise this season, and they're using their size to their advantage. Cut across the middle, incomplete. And Max Moss says, my bad on that one. It was a perfectly placed ball by Malik Washington there.
Pretty good defense by Broadneck. Pretty good defense. That was their first really stop in the pass other than the incompletion so far.
Third down again, this time a little bit longer, about 7 to go. Washington faked about it, now goes to his right-hand side. Will try to keep it on his feet, and he is pushed out of bounds after gaining maybe 2 yards. And there goes the flag. This might be perhaps a hit out of bounds there. And certainly a mistake that Broadneck don't want to be making here in the early stages. But we'll see what happens.
You stated earlier, turnovers, but penalties hurt just as bad as turnovers sometimes. Moving the sticks, keeping drives alive. they hurt just as bad. Broadneck with the first flag of today's game, the home opener.
You know, we were talking about, you know, one of the keys to the game was no turnovers, and you kind of mentioned it right there. Penalties are just about as killer as well. And look at how close it marches them, too. Instead of it being fourth down and maybe forcing a field goal to be taken, it's now first down and just about goal to goal. Washington takes it in the gun. He takes it to his left-hand side to Curtis, who barrels forward maybe a yard. Second down. Finally, Broadneck able to sprint on a new player. Looks like they're going to slow things down here again in the red zone.
Red zone is definitely very key. Let's see who can execute, whether it's offense or defense.
Washington sends a man in motion. Two of them, to be exact. In the shotgun again. Looks to his left-hand side. Only looking there.
Oh, great catch.
Tiptoe.
That's a great catch. That is a great catch.
Touchdown, Archbishop Spalding. R.J. Newton, the junior, gets things started for the home side.
RJ, that was a great catch on the sideline, getting the foot in bounds.
And the field goal is up and good. 7-0 for Archbishop Spalding. Hey, that's a perfect way to start off this game.
Now we got to see how Broadneck will respond. Also, let's see for now the first drive of Spalding's defense this high school season.
Just certainly adds a little bit of a spark to this team. Just the fact that you just go end to end to start off the game. And, you know, the crowd certainly loved it too. And, I mean, unbelievable tiptoe catch over there at the sideline there. I mean, that's a college range catch.
Definitely snagged that one on the sideline. Made sure he got his feet in bounds. Great first drive by Spalding.
So now they'll set up and kick the other way. And Broadneck will get their first crack at it. Kicking off for Spalding is Patrick Claiborne, the senior.
Booming kick.
That's taken to about the 5-yard line, and they'll try to switch some things around here. Makai Evans tries to take it along the sideline, broke a couple of tackles, and taken out just before the 30-yard line.
Big hit on the sideline by number 23. Big hit. Way to set the tone on special teams.
Now we mentioned kind of the trick plays that Broadneck can run. They already did it on the first kick return. So, you know, Rob Harris has a lot of tricks up his sleeve here. We'll see how he continues to run with this. But it's our first chance to take a look at Cameron Catterton, the new quarterback for the Bruins this season. Transferred in from South River, started his career with Broadneck back as a young freshman, went over there to South Rivers, now come back here in a position that they do need a little bit of help, and immediately tries throwing it. It's batted away at the line, and play is ruled dead before anything else can happen there. So second down and 10 to go for Broadneck. Coach Schmidt mentioned he wanted to try and get Broadneck into long distances on their downs to go early on, just to try and get them out of there. And so far, play one worked for them. Still a few more to go here for Broadneck. Man in motion is Makai Evans, who just took that return back. Takes a nice throw, finds Eli Harris, who's going to be targeted quite a bit this season too. And the defense swarmed really nicely, tackled by Gio Boone, the senior. Third down, and about 7 to go. Swarming defense so far for Spalding.
A lot of guys flying to the ball. That's all you can ask for as a defensive coordinator. Get as many guys, get as many hats to the ball as possible.
Third down. Takes it in the gun, rolls to his left. Catterton tries to split defenders here, throws it on the run. Oh, wonderful catch at the opposing 40-yard line. by Alex Passon. Broadneck needed that, and they advanced the chains to the other half of the field.
Stepped up in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, made a great pass. Way to move the sticks. How is Spalding's defense going to respond? It's the first down they gave up.
They hand it off this time around. Ian Malden tackled after about a gain of 4. 7.5 to go in quarter number 1 between Spalding and Broadneck. Once again, glad to have you with us on this Friday evening. Friday Night Lights. The way to do it. Second down. 3 defensive front for Spalding. The pass is overshot by Catterton, intended for Eli Harris. Third down. At about 6 to go here.
We talked about the home crowd. There is no more seats available. Standing room only as we speak early in the first quarter.
Literally overflow. They're hanging over the bottom fence. There's people standing below the fence trying to see. Incredible evening. On the 35-yard line, third down. About 6 or 7 to go for Broadneck. Catterton is immediately rushed, gets out of the pressure, finds his right-hand side. Malden, the running back, breaks another couple of tackles. A flag is thrown, a couple of them. First down was gained, and we'll see what that penalty might be here.
Second flag of the game. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Holding against Broadneck, and it's going to bring it back.
Talked about the penalties hurting. This is one of those situations where it hurt them big time. They finally moved the sticks. They were just into the red zone. Now they're backing up.
2 times now where a holding or at least a penalty hurt them, and where it advanced Spalding down the field. Now instead of having it very close to the red zone, or inside the red zone at least, moves them back. It is 3rd and 1 though, as they tried to place it or the foul, or at least a little bit behind where the hold happened. Less than 7 to go, third down and very short. Defense always moving for Spalding. They hand it off once again to Malden. Oh, it's awfully
Very
close, isn't it?
Very close, maybe inches. Let's see.
And they're turning the marker to 4th down. How you go for this here?
Man, I'm not sure what Broadneck's kicker looks like, but it looks like they're going for it right now.
It's awfully close. Looks like they're going to take their chances. Might even try and draw them as well here.
Stay disciplined, defense.
4th and 1. Here's the snap. They hand it off to Harris. The ring around. He just got it. Seemed like he might have almost been tripped up, but kept enough balance to gain about another 3 yards beyond the first down marker.
Pulled out the jet sweep to move the chains. Not a bad play to get 1 yard.
Important play to get Broadneck to stay on the field. First down and 10 to go. We're about the 26-yard line of Archbishop Spalding. Snap is on, faking the handoff is Catterton. Lots of space to maneuver, throws it, and it is caught by Harris again. He is the very favorite target of Catterton so far here tonight, and it pushes them to just about the 5-yard line.
That's what you would call a dot. Rolled out the pocket, saw his receiver, put it right on the numbers. Great pass. Now they're inside the red zone.
Lovely play action there from Catterton. First down and goal to goal, handing the ball off. Malden stopped just short of the end zone by about 2 yards. They're almost there. Second down and goal. They're moving quickly here. It's the opposite of Spalding, right, where they're going faster in the red zone. Handing it off again is immediately met and taken down to the 5-yard line. Loss of about 3. Third down.
Right here, third down. As a coach, what are you thinking? I could run the ball, maybe score, get as close as possible. I could throw it. Is this a 2-down territory right now? Is this a field goal? You got a lot of options. Let's see how they do.
Considering how good Spalding looked on that first offensive drive, you have to think this is 4-down territory. And 2 more downs to go. They spread everybody out here. Catterton changed the play call to his center. And he'll roll to his left here, tries to elude a defender. He does, found a little bit of daylight, but it's tripped up. Just short of the end zone, 4th down. Okay, nobody's moving here. And now they'll send down perhaps the kicking unit here. Now, do not doubt Rob Harris. He could try a little bit of foolery here.
Hey, their first special teams play was a trick. A trick play on the kickoff. Like you said, don't be surprised if he pulls a trick out of his bag here.
Christopher Coleman, the kicker for Broadneck, perhaps just trying to get the Bruins on the board here. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So Broadneck with a long drive pushes it to about the 4-yard line. They get 3 points out of it. Still keep this a 1-possession game and allow teams to kind of reset here. Well, I mean, JR, after these first couple of drives here, what are you kind of seeing from these two teams?
It looks like tonight is going to be a passing game. Wasn't really many run plays by either team. It was very few sprinkled in there, but they definitely established that they are a passing team, both sides, and that they're willing to throw it as much as possible.
It's a sign that these coaches trust their quarterbacks. And, when I was able to talk with both of these head coaches, I think that was pretty apparent. As, Coach Harris, when talking about Catterton, he was really, really excited about him coming in, and he was able to bring some inexperience. Malik Washington, I mean, Coach Schmidt couldn't say even more about Washington. That's just how many awesome things were said about him. Well, this one is taken nicely, and a breakthrough for James Spencer. And it's taken to about the 35-yard line. Pretty good return for Spalding.
Last time they started off with field position this good, they scored, so let's look forward to them keeping it moving.
1st down and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Sprinting on is Tyler Brown, who has a catch tonight. By the way, that last drive for Broadneck, it seemed like Eli Harris was involved in every play for them, as well as Ian Malden. But we'll see what Spalding do on this time around. It's caught by the young freshman, Aaron Igwebe, and takes it for about 8 yards and takes it to about the 43-yard line for 2nd down and short. Taken very quickly again. Washington throws one into the slot, kind of dragged down there. Igwebe just seemed like almost brought down around the neck, but gets up nicely and still gains that 1st down, and already is a very favorite target of Malik Washington. 1st down and 10 as they've already brought it beyond midfield. Hands the ball off again. Caden Curtis with a little bit of a spin. Shy of the 1st down marker at the opposition 40. 2nd down and short. It's these 1st down plays are getting chunk yards on it. Sets up easy 2nd and 3rd downs here. They'll try this again. Washington in the shotgun. Finds another lovely pass to Max Moss and try to trip through everybody. Taken down by 3 guys. Eli Harris, one of those guys to take him down, along with Braden McCaskey.
Similar to the last drive, it's let's keep the same guys on the field. Let's speed this up. They haven't really been able to stop them. Why not keep going?
Just not wasting any time whatsoever. The snap is off again.
Good catch.
Almost a wobbly pass, but it's still caught by Igwebe again. 2nd down, about 3 or 4 to go. Spalding leading by 4 already. Washington faking the handoff again. Igwebe again. He's all over the field right now. And it's caught just about at the first down marker. And it's 3rd down and short.
3rd and inches.
Just shows you how strong this Spalding team is. So many different guys you could throw that football to. Hands it off this time to Hakeem Sims. Sims easily bursts through. Works it to about the 15-yard line. 1st down again. They roll again. 1st down, handoff to Sims again, finds the hole. Lunges forward, gets inside the 10. 2nd down and 2.
Sims is keeping his feet moving, bringing some guys with him. Looks like he's hard to tackle. They had to call a timeout because they couldn't stop them at all in this drive so far. They are already inside the 10.
They were going so quickly, I couldn't even let you talk, JR, because it was just next play, the next play, the next play. So I mean, you and I both saw it. Rob Harris needed to call a timeout there. It's too much on that defense. They could have done anything there, Spalding.
They haven't stopped them in the pass at all. -1 incompletion earlier. Other than that, the corners are giving a lot of space. And Malik's taking everything that they're giving him. He's going through his reads. He's taking the best play, the best guy that's open, and he's getting the ball right on the numbers.
What's interesting, too, is he hasn't needed to go too long either tonight. Everything's kind of been within 5, 6, 7 yards tonight. And it's been, I mean, they've just kind of inched down the field, and it's been nearly perfect.
It's not broke. We don't need to fix it.
That's right. All right, so they set up shop again. 2nd down and about 3 to go. 1st down marker is just outside of the 5-yard line. Here's the handoff. Inching forward. They do get the 1st down. Taken to about the 4. Spalding knocking on the door one more time. 1 minute to go. In quarter number 1, Spalding leads 7-3, but for how much more? Handing it off again. Sims looking to burst through, and it looks like he gets in. Used his legs, used his body, and Spalding with another 6 on the scoreboard. And you got to credit that one to Hakeem Sims.
This Sims tandem right now, this backfield, they are getting it done.
Extra points is good. And a great crowd catching it behind the field of play. 14-3, almost as easy as you like for the Cavaliers there. Every step of the way. There was never one play, I think, just besides one incompletion where they just did not gain positive yards. It was always positive for them. And it really has been for this entire opening quarter. Something that, you know, these fans who want to see what's going on with this football team, something that they probably are really excited about.
It's definitely a statement game, like you said. They didn't end the season the way they wanted to last year. So what better way to come out and prove that not only you're just as good as last year, but better. So far, going 2 for 2 on their offensive possessions. You even stopped them in the the red zone, excuse me. So held them to 3, 14-3. Right now, it's just like Spalding might run away with this game early.
Broadneck set to return. Kick wobbly, sent, and taken in by Mekhi Evans. Got a decent block there, showing his speed again, and takes it to about the 30-yard line. That's where they'll start up again with 41 seconds remaining in the opening quarter.
Pretty decent field return, pretty good kick return as well. Took the ball from about the 5 to the 30.
So as they're running down here on the quarter, we'll just see how many plays that Rob Harris can get his team to work on here. Catterton staring over at his coach and relays it back to his center. First down and 10 from their own 30-yard line, trailing 14-3 here. Takes the low snap, has to recover, does get it in time to Evans, who caught it on the run, and they get some positive yardage out of it, almost a completely broken play, but they managed to get something out of it.
Shout out to the quarterback. He stood in there, was getting rushed by about 2 or 3 guys, took the hit, delivered a good pass, a very catchable pass, and the receiver made the most of it.
You can see why they're so high on him. Second down, 10 seconds remaining here. About 4 yards to go. Takes the snap, hands it off again to Malden. Eluded the first tackle, but is taken down immediately after. Gain of about 1 or 2. And with that play, the first quarter expires here at Archbishop Spalding. Well, it was pretty good for Spalding. They lead 14-3. We'll take a break here, and we'll return with Spalding leading 14-3.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
Welcome back to the campus of Archbishop Spalding, Severn, Maryland. Christian Taylor, J.R. Kent here with you. Score is Cavaliers 14, Bruins 3. Bruins currently with the football, starting it off in the second quarter, moving from right to left. They're in the white. Spalding are in the red. Third down, and about 2 to go here. Catterton in the gun, hands the ball off, and Malden awfully close here. It looks like they're giving him enough for the first down. Did just enough there. So they inched those chains along. Needed to happen, as some crazy stuff might have gone down there on a 4th down and short.
They don't want this game to get away from them too early. They need to find a way to put really 7 on the board. This drive is very pivotal to see how this game plays out.
First down and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Catterton takes it, is immediately met, stays on his feet, somehow gets it away to Mekhi Evans. And Evans, though, completely taken down. A loss of maybe 7 yards on that play. Second down and long to go.
You start to see the defense come alive. Quarterback almost got sacked. He broke away. Even getting that pass off, he got hit again. Then maybe 5, 6 Spalding players swarmed to the ball. I think they're starting to come alive. Friday night lights as the sun is starting to go down just a little bit. And the lights are shining even brighter.
Catterton takes it again, throws one deep, and just off the hands of Eli Harris. Goodness me, had he brought that down, this scoreline would be 14-9 right now.
Man, that was a great pass by the quarterback, just between the safety, just between the corner, right on the money. Receiver just couldn't bring it in.
Well, right now we've really only mentioned a few players for Broadneck with Evans and Harris and Malden and Catterton. These have been the pieces offensively for Broadneck. You know, Rob Harris would like to get some other players involved as well, but these are the ones making the runs. And right now it's 3rd down and 17 for Broadneck. So almost kind of forced to send it long unless they're trying to push it to 4-down territory again. Here's the snap again. Catterton met immediately, but swims away from it again. Oh, and another huge hit. Harris somehow stayed on his feet, and he stays down. That was almost looked like helmet-to-helmet contact on that play.
He definitely paid for going across the middle. Great catch by him.
That is not good. That is one of the top players this season. He's a junior. Eli Harris, standing at 6 feet, has made so many of the good plays here tonight. As the trainers come out here, oh, goodness me, in just game number 1, quarter number 2, it actually looks like, you know what, instead of the head, it looks like they might be working on the shoulder.
Yeah, he took a pretty big hit to the shoulder/neck area. As soon as he caught it, he held on. Looks to be okay. He's now sitting up.
That's promising there. It kind of seemed like right when he got the hit, I think he had to realize where he was and then continue running. But once the adrenaline wore off, and he went down, and then he stayed down.
Maybe got the wind knocked out of him. Definitely a big hit.
I guess in a situation like this, you actually kind of hope that it's just the wind knocked out of him. That's how good of a player he is. Oh, wow, look at him run off. Yes, love to see that.
So now it's a tough decision for Broadneck. It's 4th down. They're about at midfield.
And so they're just going to have to re-huddle this one up. I mean, it's 4th down and 4 now, so he took the big hit, but at the end of it all, he got them pretty close here, just behind midfield. I mean, I guess you might as well try for this with Spalding continuing to add pressure and push up the score. Figured maybe now's the time to try and keep this within arm's reach. But now they have no Eli Harris out there. Under 10 minutes here. 4th down and 4. Hold up here. There's a whistle. Timeout for Broadneck here. Well, what do you think this conversation could be here with a 4th down and 4 and, ball just at about midfield?
I feel like coach understands, and if I was the coach, I would tell my team this play right here is very crucial. We don't want to go into halftime down too much. There's 10 minutes left about in this game or in this half. They have great field position if we don't convert. So, it's a tough one, but we have to go for it. Definitely have to go for it right now. We haven't been able to stop Spalding at all. I think their weapon number 5 is back on the field. So is that him? If so, that is a plus. See how they respond here.
4th down. Catterton takes it here, rolling back, lots of pressure, throws it to his running back in Malden, met immediately. No chance on that play. They threw in the blitz. They got it to work, and it's a turnover and fantastic field position inside of the 50-yard line.
That was a great form tackle by the linebacker there. Way to wrap, and then hold on, let the rest of his guys come clean up the mess.
How about the call defensively to send that blitz in? Because they've only maybe done it once or twice already tonight. Surprise them on 4th down, and it worked brilliantly.
Definitely came out to be a benefit for coach right there. And he gave the offense back the ball. Now let's see what they do.
1st down and 10 for the Cavaliers. About the 48-yard line, Washington. He's also rushed very nicely by Hicks. Throws it across the middle. Incomplete. Just
very
in front
close
of P.J. Poknes.
That was a very close one. Broadneck definitely caught a break there because he was wide open. That definitely would have moved the sticks, maybe a 20 to 25-yard gain potentially. But now with a 2nd and 10 from an incomplete pass.
Awfully close. This crowd would have exploded had that one gone down. 2nd down and 10. Washington will look again. Throws it inside. Batted at the line. And it's incomplete. 3rd down.
Spalding definitely caught a break there. Ball in the air. Wasn't anyone near it. Now it's 3rd and 10. This is definitely the longest third down so far for Spalding. Let's see how they convert on 3rd and long. Got them.
Jump too early. The penalty hurts them again.
3rd penalty of the game for Broadneck. Spalding's been spotless so far.
All of them pretty costly, too. And it's not like some of these have just been a little who cares false start. It's now inching Spalding even closer to a more manageable 3rd down and 5. And here it comes. Washington immediately with the screen pass to Tyler Brown. He's tackled short anyways.
Great tackle.
With about 2 to go.
Great tackle.
And it looks like that should have been Blake Levicki on the tackle. Sophomore safety dropped down to make that 4th down. Only a couple different players sprinting on for Spalding. Certainly looks like they will be going for this, and you might as well. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, and he's going to call a timeout here. And Kyle Schmidt will try and talk this over here with his side. Well, once again, you're pretty short. Trying to continue this drive, Archbishop Spalding. Broadneck, this is a huge play for them here, because now all of a sudden they get a stop here. It's almost as if nothing really quite happened up the middle there. But now we get a really close look at Kyle Schmidt here in the huddle. I mean, you could just see how much he loves these guys. And, you know, when talking with him, he was actually one of my favorite coaches' interviews. He went so in detail with all of his players, knows exactly every one of his players' tendencies, and he knows how to coach this team, and he's built this program into really what it is now. A very, very impressive set of players he has here, and a lot of them pretty young. He hands the ball off, and it's pretty easy. Caden Curtis gets that 1st down.
Like you said, Christian, just from that little bit of talk with his guys in the huddle, they definitely were locked in that huddle. They heard everything they said from coach, went out there, executed, moved the sticks.
Washington throws it long this time, and he just overshoots his receiver in Max Moss. And it takes it to 2nd down.
Just threw just a little bit too far, touched his hands. Would have been a tough catch to bring down. Nonetheless, that's that first real deep threat that has came out from Spalding today. Got to see what Malik's arm is looking like. So, hope they don't fall asleep again, because it's going to cost them the next time.
2nd down and 10 from the gun for Washington. Screen pass, finding Curtis again, but only gets back to the line of scrimmage. Another 3rd down and 10. Have to imagine Broadneck making sure they don't move this time around. Probably still almost 4-down territory anyways, now that you're at the 35-yard line.
Most definitely. You want to put them away if possible now. Make it 21-3. That's a hard comeback to make from there.
Washington set again, takes the snap. Slant route for Moss. He splits through everybody and gains the 1st down and into the red zone. 1st down for Archbishop Spalding, moving the chains again. Set it up pretty quickly one more time. 7.5 remaining in quarter number 2. Look to his right-hand side, Washington, and he goes down, and a helmet pops off as well. That was Washington's. Fortunately gets back to his feet there.
This was the first time they've been able to get some pressure on Washington.
Look at that. He was so focused on the next play, forgot he didn't have a helmet.
So now how would this work? So they have to put the backup in for one play, I believe.
Running out there right now, it is Dom Wanasisi. And he hands the ball off here. Curtis takes it, and they do the job, at least to get a yard there. So Washington back in.
Taken down by number 32, Emilio Chase.
Good call. I mean, they subbed him on immediately just to still keep this action moving, and knew they had to switch the quarterback just for a play.
One good thing about that play, they were able to get some positive yards. At least something on that last play.
Third down. Washington looks to his right. Looks for Tyler Brown, but dropped it on his way through. He's almost kind of looking ahead instead of watching the ball in. And it's fourth down and long. And they may send out the field goal unit here, and it looks like they will, with Patrick Claiborne set to add potentially 3 more.
First field goal of the season for Spalding.
They'll set up at about the 25, 35-yard field goal on the way. No good. Sliced left. And Broadneck certainly pleased with themselves being able to get out without allowing any points there. We're able to kind of stall them. It didn't seem like that drive was 100% comfortable for Spalding, even though they still kind of inched it to about the red zone to start things off.
As you said, they didn't look too comfortable even on the kick. The kicker kind of chopped his steps before he went into his kick, so I don't really think he was in rhythm. But I think if he gets another opportunity, he'll definitely knock it down the middle. It definitely had the distance, just wasn't as accurate.
Oh, this one was just fumbled right as it found Catterton. So they lose yards. So just as they have a little bit of a high of getting out of there with no points allowed, they immediately drop 5 yards on the first play. Second down and 15.
Broadneck starting at the 15 here. Let's see if that fumble hurts them, or can they recover?
I saw the offenses kind of roll in the first stages of this game. Now is this a defense game? We're going to find out and see just how locked in these defenses can get. Catterton hands it off yet again to Malden. He gets it just beyond the original line of scrimmage. Third down and 9. Another big play after just stopping Spalding to try and stay out there on the field. That defense is certainly tired. Keep them rested for a bit.
Here's the first penalty for Spalding. Looks like they jumped off sides.
Massive as well. Instead of 3rd and 9, that's going to push it up to third down and 4 yards to go. And it kind of changes up the playbook. It opens it up a little bit more.
Gives
for
them
the
a little
Bruins.
bit more space. Their back isn't against the wall, as you could say. A little bit more life, some positive life for Broadneck.
3rd and 4 in the gun. Catterton takes it, hands it off, gains about 2. 4th down. Oh no, you're in bad territory. Do you even think about going for this?
I mean, Christian, like you said, it's kind of switched from an offensive game to a defensive game, and it's looking like both coaches believe in their defenses, so they have no problem going for it.
Sure enough, they will. Catterton, oh, he might be trying to draw again. Catterton back inside, and he's going to sneak it himself. Did he do enough? It looks like he certainly did. They're marking it just beyond the 30-yard line.
Move the sticks.
And they're moving the chains. Did just enough. All right, that keeps the drive moving. Let's see if the Bruins can take advantage of this with now 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Catterton tosses one, finding Evans, was immediately met once he brought it in, and he had a little bit of momentum to carry him across the 40-yard line. They move the chains for the second straight play.
Now the passing attack is back out for Broadneck. Quarterback's looking like he's getting into a little bit of a rhythm. Let's see how Spalding defense responds.
They're searching for a score before the break. Catterton immediately under duress. Harris has found it. Cut across the middle and gained about 2. Well, it's good to see Harris back out there after receiving that big blow. So probably what we suspected was just getting the wind knocked out of him there.
Broadneck has definitely relied heavily on these bubble screens, letting the pressure get to the quarterback, just throwing it right over top of the lineman. And it's been working a little bit for him.
2nd down and 8. Catterton has to roll away from this one immediately. Didn't even get a chance to look at anything. Jump throw, and it's caught by Joseph Smarghese. Takes it well beyond midfield. 1st down, moving the chains again are the Bruins.
It's looking like the quarterback for Broadneck is getting into his flow right now.
Lovely play there. He saw the pressure, rolled to the sideline. Smarghese was wide open. Smarghese, just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore?
Just a sophomore.
So we have a battle of 2 sophomore quarterbacks?
Smarghese, the wide receiver, just turned sophomore.
Gotcha.
Catterton, the senior, yes.
Okay.
But a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen in this lineup here tonight. Catterton rolling to his right. Another jump throw. It's picked off. And Spalding stopping that Broadneck attack in its tracks. Doing exactly what they wanted to do. P.J. Pokness looks to be the man who got the interception.
Christian, you talked about it earlier before the game. Turnovers. First one of the game for Spalding. They stop a drive that looked somewhat promising for Broadneck. And they're in great field position about at the 42, 43. Let's see how they can do with 2:25 left going into the half.
That one's going to hurt for the Bruins. You see Albert Pulsa.
Another flag.
Frustration. Looks like that should be going against Spalding this time around.
This is the 2nd flag for Spalding. So right after a turnover, a penalty. Now about 1st, 15.
Washington from the gun. Always looking to his right, looking to split through, and that defense says no, sir. Jake Wanner on the tackle. 2nd down and extremely long to go.
2nd time Malik has been sacked in this quarter alone.
Seems like they're doing the right things now on the line. Seems like the line's beginning to warm up a little bit here tonight.
156. Now 2nd and long.
Scoreboard says 22. Washington is thinking about going long here. Has a little bit of time. Now we'll toss it very deep, looking for Moss. Out of bounds. Went that football. 3rd down and the same yardage to go.
Definitely were able to see Malik's arm right there, rolling to his left, turning and slinging it maybe 40 yards to a receiver in stride. Just a little bit too far, maybe too close to out of bounds. Receiver couldn't get it. It's now 3rd and long.
Looked pretty nonchalant, didn't it?
Very nonchalant.
That is how good he is going to be and currently is. Oh, and it's through the hands. 4th down for Spalding as Jamison Kaufman couldn't quite bring it in.
First punt of the game.
For either team.
For either team. Will this be a trick play or will this be an actual punt?
Interesting shout here. So they'll send out the punt unit. Cavs. They needed to stop the clock there, so they might just need to reset it. As right now for Spalding, it is Cooper Welch out there, the sophomore, to take this. It looks like the clock just kind of kept rolling there, so they're just going to have to reset it. After that incompletion, 128 it looks like.
As the sun starts to set, the lights continue to get brighter. First Friday night lights of the season.
Punt, pretty good spiral punt. Wave it for the fair catch, and he's got it. Eli Harris again at the 34-yard line. So they have 1 minute and 21 seconds to go to the other end of the field to try and get some sort of score. Even a field goal pushes this to a one-possession game. So that's maybe what they're thinking of. Obviously, they'd love to get 6, but you have to imagine maybe 3 would be okay for how well Spalding moved the football, at least their first couple of drives. First down and 10. Looked like a quick hop off the defensive line for Spalding. It's tossed over to Mekhi Evans and really has no room to maneuver. Didn't look pretty that entire play. The defense was all over it. Second down.
Another screen by Broadneck. And I think Spalding is very aware of what's coming as they run that play again, and they get a stop in the backfield.
Don't seem to be in too much of a hurry here, Broadneck. 50 seconds and counting. Might be only down to a couple of plays, so watch out for some sort of trickery here from Rob Harris. This is right where you line one up, and you see a safety going even further back to about midfield now for the home side. Catterton immediately blitzed again.
Another screen.
And Malden met also immediately. 25 seconds. Clock stops. Timeout for Archbishop Spalding. They can sense here that they can get the ball back in a good area and maybe get 1 or 2 more heaves before the break.
I mean, with the arm, with a quarterback like Malik and the arm that he has, giving him another opportunity definitely is going to help.
Well, let's talk about Malik here for a couple of moments here in this timeout. I mean, he's just a sophomore, but the places that he's already gotten offers from, Penn State, Virginia Tech, Maryland, it's not like these are little, NAIA, D3, D2 schools. I mean, these are top programs, Power 5 programs, and that's just the start of them. Who knows what else might happen? And he's just a sophomore. Those are offers after a freshman season.
That just shows you how talented the kid is. I mean, going into your sophomore year to have an offer to Penn State, Maryland, and many more, man, you can understand why the coach has so much trust in him to call these plays and pass the ball as much as they do.
.26 seconds remaining. Third down, 14 to go for the Broadneck Bruins, trailing 14-3. 26 seconds remaining. Catterton rolling to his right immediately. Doesn't have anywhere to go, just throws it out of bounds. That's all he could have done there. Perfectly drawn up defense again. Fourth down, punt unit, all of a sudden twice in about 60 seconds.
2 punts. Great play by the quarterback by not forcing anything, just throwing the ball out of bounds. But like you noted earlier, Broadneck, they're pretty tricky. So don't, just because it's 20 seconds left, think that they might not pull something out.
Oh, it's a high snap. This could be the chance for Spalding, and it's kicked out of the side of the end zone. The flag is thrown.
That was
and
a smart play.
Safety.
Smart play by the punter right there, not to try to pick it up or just kick it out the back of the end zone. Save them from getting 6. So could have been worse. Great for Spalding. First safety of the year. 16-3, 14 seconds left. That was probably one of the worst things that could have happened for Broadneck right there. Great for Spalding, though.
I mean, seriously, there was only 2 options. Either you kick it out or, get tackled yourself, or you cough up the ball. So might as well not take any chances and just allow the 2. So hats off to the punter for realizing the situation. But now there's 14 seconds for Spalding to get something. This is a very big kick as well, because now to be taking it from, looks like the 20-yard line. And it's going to push them, you'd have to imagine, at least beyond midfield, a chance for maybe one final heave-ho from Washington before the break. So there is always that. I mean, you make sure that you don't allow the 6, but could be a possibility of 9 points going up on the board. So it's
kind
taken.
of a squib kick, and it went out of bounds. Some great blocks, though. Some great blocks.
They get right in each other's face, so a couple of flags now. So obviously the flag for the out of bounds, but the, some players colliding. So it's like about 13 seconds as the officials try to work this one out here, and they'll mention to Coach Schmidt this is exactly what's happening here, and he looks okay with the results.
Last time Coach was able to huddle his guys up and really talk to him like this, they went out there and they executed. Are they able to execute with 13 seconds left? Let's see where they place this ball, find out what play he calls and dials up.
And right now, Coach Harris pleading his case here to the referee. Also, one of the worst things that could have happened there for Broadneck. Now seconds don't tick off the clock, and you automatically give it to them inside the 50-yard line.
They're going 4 wide, definitely spreading them out. Right now they got 2 safeties over the top.
First down, 45-yard line. Washington receives this one. Might think about going deep here. Throws it out of bounds, not taking any chances. 7 seconds. Not wasted about 6 here. If he plays his cards right, they could still get 2 plays out of this here. They still got a couple of timeouts.
Can definitely understand why he has offers to these high majors. That's a smart play by a sophomore. End of the quarter, going into halftime. Just throws the ball out of bounds, gives the team another chance to make a play with 7 seconds left.
It's the intangibles that Washington has that still some of the best. Not only the skill, but it's the other things as well. Washington throws one very quickly, and Tyler Brown puts his head down, makes sure he goes out of bounds, and does enough to gain the first down. So perhaps one final heave with 3 seconds to go from the 35-yard line.
Let's see what happens. 3 seconds, 35-yard line, Friday Night Lights.
4 wide receivers, looks like almost trips to the right here. Washington rolls back on this, throws one high into the end zone. Moss looking for it. He came awfully close, but it's incomplete. And that's how the first half comes to the close. Both teams looked very good on their first drive. Spalding did well on their second drive. They got 2 scores off of it, led 14-3, ended up getting a safety on a poor snap from Broadneck towards the end of this half. Spalding could not get any more points out of it, but still leading 16-3 after 24 minutes played, and we will break here for halftime. When we return, fascinating second half coming up with Broadneck still within arm's reach here at Archbishop Spalding. We'll step aside and be back.
Getting out the car, walking to school, I was anxious, nervous.
It's a bigger school than I've ever been to. Didn't know any faces.
I remember sitting in that homeroom and feeling all of the nerves and the anticipation and excitement of what high school could bring. But I quickly found out that this was going to be not just my school, but my home.
Everybody had open arms.
There's a genuine love for one another.
Everybody knows everybody.
I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day.
When you choose Archbishop Spalding High School to be your home, you're getting a large school that feels like a small family.
You're never alone in this experience at all.
At the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how Spalding lifted you up in the most positive way.
You're always going to feel that connection. You're going to want to come back home.
The Spalding community is definitely one that I would describe as united.
There's a genuine desire to serve, to exemplify Christ.
And we see that every day in this building. From something as small as a senior helping a freshman with their locker, a teacher comforting a student. We see it in the smallest and the largest acts of kindness.
I knew it would actually be my calling to strengthen the faith life of the students that were around me in the way that I had my faith life strengthened as a student here before.
There's a million different people, a million different backgrounds. People come from all over the world, but the fact that we can all come together on faith, that's literally the embodiment of one body in Christ.
The growth of this school is unbelievable to me. The opportunities that are afforded to these students, it's impressive.
The nature of our size impacts the growth because of the options that our size enables us to offer our students. We're very deliberate about knowing emerging trends. We have so many different academic programs. We have so many different co-curricular programs.
If there is anything that is of interest to you, all you need to do is ask.
It's great to see how the school and the athletic facilities have improved over the years.
When I have friends who are alumni reach out to me and I tell them that there's now an engineering building, it tells you the health of the school, which is embodied by the people who make it up. That's why it's been so successful. That's why there's so many opportunities at this school.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
Spalding's known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I think I immediately knew when I came to that open house 7th grade that like everything I had heard was true.
I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been to a Catholic school. I didn't know much about it.
It invited me into a lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable.
The kids are passionate. You walk in, there's a little bit of electricity in the building. That's hard to describe. It's something that you feel.
I care about school now. I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day. I know they care about me. And it's this sense of community that's enabled me to be able to push myself.
And grow through service. I feel like it made me a well-rounded human being.
I know that Spalding has everything here for all of my children, academically, emotionally, physically.
Whether it's clubs, whether it's sports, they're going to be leaders in and out of the classroom.
What I hope and pray is that at the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how you felt, respected, included, and that you always felt one in Christ.
The opportunities afforded to these students just really speak to the success of this school. It's impressive.
It's more than just learning at school. Like, it's taught me how to treat people, how to grow in my faith, rather than just giving me an education and sending me off to college.
When you choose the Spalding experience, what you're getting is an environment that cares for the individual. This is a place where we welcome people home.
You're going to grow so much.
I know it may be nerve-wracking. This school is bigger than what you're probably used to.
This school, this community is truly like no other.
You will find innovation, a deepened faith life, family.
You're about to have a very crazy ride, but some of the best years of your life.
I still remember my first day.
We get to school, and my mom was like, don't be nervous, and I'm like, I'm not nervous, but I was freaking out.
I really had no clue what I was walking into.
Everything was unknown and uncertain.
What if I don't find my friend group? What clubs am I gonna join? Did I bring my lunchbox?
Each step that I took closer, I could feel my heart race, this mixture of anticipation and excitement, the fear of the unknown.
From the moment stepping on campus, I immediately knew everything I had heard was true. I found what I was looking for.
A lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable.
High school is where you figure out who you are. And Spalding cares about that.
Academics, activities, there's something here for everybody.
Whatever it is that you are looking for, we'll provide it for you.
The most challenging, relevant, cutting-edge programs, the International Baccalaureate project leads the way.
You look at the students, they're leaders. They challenge themselves academically and spiritually. It starts in the classroom and then transitions directly onto the field.
The community here is one that genuinely cares about each other.
We celebrate together. We all feel the school spirit.
That we all come together on faith.
We are truly the embodiment of one in Christ.
The two questions that we answer with every decision that's made here: do we support the mission? Are we caring for our students? Yes, of course, calculus is important. Maybe you run a championship-winning team. But what I hope and pray is that our students remember how we made them feel, and that we made them feel respected, important, and that they very much felt a part and welcomed at Archbishop Spalding.
Take a deep breath.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
Getting out the car, walking to school, I was anxious, nervous.
It's a bigger school than I've ever been to. Didn't know any faces.
I remember sitting in that homeroom and feeling all of the nerves and the anticipation and excitement of what high school could bring. But I quickly found out that this was going to be not just my school, but my home.
Everybody had open arms.
There's a genuine love for one another.
Everybody knows everybody.
I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day.
When you choose Archbishop Spalding High School to be your home, you're getting a large school that feels like a small family.
You are never alone in this experience at all.
At the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how Spalding lifted you up in the most positive way.
You're always going to feel that connection. You're going to want to come back home.
The Spalding community is definitely one that I would describe as united.
There's a genuine desire to serve, to exemplify Christ.
And we see that every day in this building, from something as small as a senior helping a freshman with their locker, a teacher comforting a student. We see it in the smallest and the largest acts of kindness.
I knew it would actually be my calling to strengthen the faith life of the students that were around me in the way that I had my faith life strengthened as a student here before.
There's a million different people, a million different backgrounds. People come from all over the world, but the fact that we can all come together on faith,
that's literally the embodiment of one body in Christ.
The growth of this school is unbelievable to me. The opportunities that are afforded to these students, it's impressive.
The nature of our size impacts the growth because of the options that our size enables us to offer our students. We're very deliberate about knowing emerging trends. We have so many different academic programs. We have so many different co-curricular programs.
If there is anything that is of interest to you, all you need to do is ask.
And it's great to see how the school and the athletic facilities have improved over the years.
When I have friends who are alumni reach out to me and I tell them that there's now an engineering building, it tells you the health of the school, which is embodied by the people who make it up. That's why it's been so successful. That's why there's so many opportunities at this school.
Back here for the start of the second half between Archbishop Spalding and Broadneck High School. Christian Taylor, J.R. Kent here with you here tonight. Thank you to all of you tuning in on this one. Well, Archbishop Spalding off to a 16-3 lead here in this second half, about to start in just under 3 minutes. I mean, it was a fascinating opening half where it seemed like the first few drives, obviously first with Spalding, they were never stopped. They just kind of kept moving the ball forward. And then Broadneck kind of did the same thing. They had a penalty that kind of stalled it for a little bit, but then they still ended up getting 3 out of it. Spalding's next drive, they went right on down, scored another touchdown yet again at only one play where they just couldn't move the ball. And then it seemed like neither of these two teams could really advance it beyond about 20 or 30 yards. Everything just kind of halted in its place, including a missed field goal from Archbishop Spalding. But, I mean, JR, from what you saw, really, I mean, firstly, from the Archbishop Spalding standpoint of things, I mean, what have you seen? What have you liked so far tonight?
Man, I just love how, even though offensively they haven't been able to move the ball as well as they would like to in the last couple possessions, still seeing positive energy from the quarterback and Malik. He's still dapping guys up right now, giving just, being a great teammate. The defense has stepped up and is like, okay, now it's our time to shine. They've been able to allow Broadneck to get into the red zone and still stop them holding the 3. They force a turnover. And then as Spalding as a team, they're winning the penalty battle. So Broadneck has had more penalties and more detrimental penalties that definitely hurt them in situations versus the Spalding where they haven't really had any besides maybe one that really hurt them. So it's definitely pretty close. The Spalding has been able to capitalize on those first 2 possessions, like you said, and now they have the lead 16-3. We'll see how they go.
What do you think for the Broadneck side of things they need to do just to inch a little bit closer in this game?
Well, definitely not shoot themselves in the foot anymore with any penalties on third downs. The screens have been working a little bit for them. I feel like they should switch up a couple play styles, definitely get the ball into their playmakers' hands. And maybe rely a little bit more on the run game that can maybe help free up some passing lanes and help free up some things for the quarterback.
So Broadneck, since they kicked off to start the game, they will receive to start the second half, which has kind of been the trend of football now. You kind of want the ball to start the second half so they can try and work this a little bit closer, but they will still be moving from right to left. Spalding kick it off, and it goes well into the end zone, something that Coach Schmidt was actually very pleased about when we chatted, the fact that Patrick Claiborne was able to push out a couple of touchbacks in their early exhibition. So off they go, and they will set up shop here, Broadneck, and try to close in, trailing right now by 13 points. It is completely nighttime now in the state of Maryland. Lights are off to full effect here. And we'll see what this second half brings. Cameron Catterton, he hands the ball off to Ian Malden. And as what really happened towards the end of the second quarter was he didn't get too many yards after getting the ball. And it's 2nd down and 10. It seemed like these Broadneck, besides that first drive and maybe a little bit of their second drive, not really much has gotten to go for them offensively.
Like you said, Christian, this is starting to turn into a defensive game on both sides. If it stays that way, Spalding should come out on top.
Good bit of Broadneck fans here trying to root their team on for something. Catterton takes the low snap. Oh, goodness me. Tackled immediately. And he's taken down. Third down and extremely long. I'll tell you what, number 68 did absolutely brilliantly there to come off the edge and take him down. So now you're very far back in your own territory. Now, you also have the idea in the back of your head of needing to handle a punt in this same exact area if you do not convert here. So there's a lot of big things that need to happen in these two plays for the Bruins.
For sure. Best thing they could do right now, if they're not going to bum, and just hand it off, get as much space as possible.
Looks like they do exactly that. Evans able to break free and just tackled shy of the first down marker, but certainly set up something incredible. Actually, no, it looks like he maybe did get it. He did, just beyond enough momentum to push him through. Wow, what a play call on third down and extremely long. And Mekhi Evans showing that his team will not be quitting in this one. First down, might as well hand it off again. Malden, back-to-back plays where they're getting a lot of chunk yards. Broadneck.
Broadneck relying a little bit on this run game. Be careful, play action may be coming soon. But as of right now, 2 back-to-back first downs, there's no need to pass the ball. Just keep running it.
First down and 10. All of a sudden, they're at the 45-yard line. They were just at about their own 5. Malden, delayed handoff. Takes it for 4 yards. Second down and 6 to go.
So 3 positive plays. All have been run plays. Let's see what the next play will be.
Very positive, though, after being pushed back in their first 2. Well, we mentioned the next 2 plays are going to be big. And could we have ever imagined just exactly how big they were going to be? Ran it on third down and long, and they got some great yards. Catterton fakes the handoff. He is going to take it himself, but tries some sort of a lateral as he was just about taken to the ground. And let's see here if they're going to try calling a forward pass, perhaps. I don't know. It kind of looked sideways there, and I think that's what Rob Harris is screaming at the officials about, but that's why they're chatting this over right now.
Official timeout.
Yeah, Coach Harris is making sure the officials can hear him right now, pleading his case. And it looks like they will grant. Well, they might be granting this one. They still haven't officially placed the ball down. And they will be advancing the ball here, so seems like a legal play. Heads up play by Catterton, sometimes not quite advised to do so. Just let go of the ball as you're about to go down, but it kind of worked. Third down and about 1.
Let's see if Broadneck runs it again or catches them with a play action.
Well, now it looks like Coach Schmidt's trying to hear what's going on, and didn't take him long. He's heard the verdict and has accepted the results. So we get back to it here. Already 3 minutes have ticked off this clock. Perhaps 4 down territory again for the Bruins anyways. Catterton in the shotgun, takes the lower snap, looking deep this time around, and just out of the reach again of Eli Harris.
There was a play action right there. It was, once again, a little bit too far. But now, 4th down. You're about at midfield. This is a tough call.
I tell you what, there have been some long ball chances for these two teams. They're just missing out. It's not by much. You figure maybe midway through the season they're connecting on those. This could just be first game jitters. 4th down and inches. The offense stays out there. Catterton under center this time, takes the QB sneak again. That's the second time he's done it in this game, and he's converted it again.
Big 4th down conversion for Broadneck. They move the chains. Can they capitalize with this little bit of momentum that they have?
I think this is a very important drive for Broadneck to start off this second half. After those first 2 plays where they were as disastrous as you could have ever imagined. They got the first down, and they're moving the football. 45-yard line of Archbishop Spalding. Catterton immediately screens one to Makai Evans, who got a really nice block and tries to break free right down the sideline and pushed out of bounds at the 27.
Broadneck got back to their bread and butter with the bubble screens. Got to know that's coming. But they have executed those a lot so far this game. Moved the chains again. They are now inching their way closer to the red zone.
Catterton hands it off. Malden spinning and gaining about 1. Well, that name, Makai Evans, we've said it a bit, especially on this drive. But Broadneck fans have been very used to hearing that. He's a 3-year starter. He's coming back into his senior season, doing nothing but causing havoc against opponents. That speed was incredible as well. Catterton throws it, finding Harris, lunges forward, and is about 3 or 4 yards shy of the first down marker. 3rd down. Perhaps 4 down territory again.
For sure, Christian.
Don't know if they want to be going for 3. I mean, there's still a lot of this second half to go, but, you know, they're going to want to try and get 6. Catterton on 3rd down. Very quick throw, and is immediately met by Spalding's Zion Louder. But it's enough for the first down. Got to it in time. I knew exactly what route he was going to be running. I mean, that's the talent of Eli Harris right there, and the talent of Cameron Catterton as quarterback.
That was a great read by Cameron right there.
First down and 10. 16-yard line. The flip to Evans. Swings one around again with the sweep. And doesn't get too many yards there, about 3. Second down again. They're trying to get it to about the 5-yard line. Oh, hold up. Player is down on the opposite end, and it looks like it's Makai Evans.
Another player down.
Yeah, Malden went down as well. Now, it didn't look like any of those, or at least for Malden, had to do with contact. He's kind of fell down, which could be extremely worrying. But, you know, Evans, I believe he was involved in the most recent play. So they're going to tend to them. Goodness me. I mean, the players who have gone down for Broadneck today are significant players. I mean, they've been asked a lot. So obviously, early season, maybe you're not quite conditioned all the way as well. But I'll tell you what, they've been working hard tonight. And some of this is understandable. But you got to hope that they can continue fighting on, or at least continue to play pretty well here tonight.
They're definitely going to need both of these players. They made a lot of plays on this drive.
Oh, the helmet comes off of Ian Malden. That's just it. I mean, this sport is just so physically demanding. I mean, it looks like right now for Evans, they're just stretching out a hamstring for him, so he might have just gotten a Charlie horse, and the same thing goes with Malden. It looks like he's just trying to grab some air as well, and they are working on his right leg too.
Tough Broadneck right now is kind of slowing down their momentum. They had some things going. They were able to get a lot of positive plays in a row. Now it's kind of putting a halt to their drive just for a little bit.
This also gives a break to that defense that was doing nothing really but moving backwards here.
Now inside the red zone. Let's see if they're able to hold Broadneck again like they did earlier on in this game. Maybe even force a turnover.
Well, right now they have another running back out there in Logan McGill. Alex Passon is back out there as wide receiver. They've also slipped out to Marion Hayes. Broadneck. Eli Harris is okay right now after he had gotten the wind knocked out of him early on in the first half. There's big number 68 who had just made a tackle back on the other end of the field at the start of this drive. There's number 16, Keyshawn Flowers, who has been active tonight as well. Cheerleaders out here tonight as well. Saw a performance of both those cheerleaders and the dance team at halftime as well. Look, I mean, they were pretty fluid, both the cheerleaders and dance team. I'll tell you what, they looked in mid-season form as well.
Looks like the fans are definitely in mid-season, almost playoff form with no more seats available. There is now a crowd by the fence that you said a lot of them are hanging over.
It's overflow over there.
It is overflow. They're starting to pile in behind the end zone to the far left.
Back to it here. 2nd down and 6. Rushing right through here. He does get the ball off. I believe that goes to Logan McGill. And he gets up there after he gains about half of what was needed. 3rd down and 2.
Big play right here. This is definitely 4th down territory as the clock is winding down. 5 minutes left in the 3rd. Let's see.
Are you trying to throw a run play here?
I mean, it's been working so far for him. I would just keep the train moving.
5 minutes to go. 3rd down. They do hand it off again. Same player in McGill. Oh, and he lost the football. And it seemed like Broadneck recovered it. Wow, could have been ultimately disastrous inside the 5. Yeah, Logan McGill's going to make sure he doesn't do that again. They got extremely lucky, and now it's 1st down at about the 3-yard line. And have a chance to try and find the end zone. It's plays like that that can turn a game. McGill stands out there still. Daquan Woodall is there as well. Oh, another fumble, and this time Spalding to recover. Back-to-back fumbles, one favored Broadneck, the other gives it right to Spalding.
Well, those 2 guys that got hurt were the 2 guys that they were giving the ball to a lot this possession, and they weren't here on those last couple of plays, and it definitely showed with the turnover.
Wow. What was nearly disastrous, it didn't matter anyways. It turned disastrous anyway, so now that's 2 turnovers, 1 interception, and 1 fumble inside the 5. Now Spalding do have a long way to go, but you got Malik Washington as your quarterback, and you have Moss as your wide receiver, and off he goes to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, and he is in 95 yards.
Just like that. Just like that, the momentum changed.
Wow. One play cut across the middle from what could have been 6 for Broadneck. I mean, we're talking about a 14-point swing here. 22-3, Archbishop Spalding.
Now, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the crowd is even more active than they've been tonight after that score. It looks like they're going for 2 here.
Wow. What a turn of events. And yeah, you might as well go for two. Unbelievable flip, and they get the 2-point conversion. 24-3.
It makes sense why these coaches are high on Malik. Just from the 2-point conversion, he gives a shout out to his teammate on the sideline. Maybe it was his idea. Maybe it was a play they went over in practice. But you can see how they love him so much. He shouts out his teammates. He could have easily just took that one as, it's about me. No, it's about the team. And you can see it right there.
That 2-point conversion ended up going to Jamison Kaufman. But we were talking about a game that Broadneck were still in and could have perhaps cut it to one possession. And now they're down by 21 points with just less than 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. So if they have any chance whatsoever, I mean, it's got to start here. But that's just gut-wrenching if you're the visitors from Annapolis.
It'll be interesting to see how they respond this drive. Can they keep any momentum from the previous drive going? Or is that it for them?
Patrick Claiborne. He's good at these touchbacks. It's worked its way into the end zone again. And since it reached there, they will whistle that as a touchback. Now the offense heads right back out there. So I guess the only other thing here is now that Spalding defense is still kind of tired. I mean, it was only 2 plays that they were able to rest for. And that Broadneck offense was really moving the football nicely. Now, the other thing is, it looks like at the moment they're without their running back in Ian Malden, so he's yet to return. Mekhi Evans is back out there, so that's at least good to see. But they got some things working for them, so you might as well try and go back to it as they hand it off, or at least fakes it, Catterton rather, and lunges forward for about 2. I mean, what are you thinking if you're Broadneck right now after what was so close and you just allowed 8 points the other way?
We definitely have to score this drive and not 3. We need a touchdown just to keep our hopes alive for the rest of this game because it is not over yet. They're only down 21 points. That's only 3 scores. So this drive is crucial that they score here and definitely score a touchdown.
Well, that is some offsides going against Spalding. Well, the penalties, about 4-3, favoring Spalding as they have 1 less. 2nd down and 3 to go for the visitors. Catterton in the shotgun to his left, 2 to his right, rolls immediately to his right, fires one, and it's caught just along the sideline with a little shove at the end, and a flag comes out immediately from the official right as Eli Harris had worked his way into the white stripe. It's another time that player's been hit out of bounds after they've made their way out. And you can see, though, it's not like they've been all the way out of bounds, but the officials are really making sure that everything kind of stays calm, stays where it is. And look how far that moves them up to, all the way to the 45-yard line of Spalding. So first down. Broadneck trailing 24-3 with the football, looking to move their way up to double figures. Catterton immediately pressured, weaves through everybody. Lovely pass, finding Mekhi Evans. Evans stays on his feet a little bit, still done so at about the 15-yard line and finally swung down to the ground. This is a pretty impressive and quick drive for Broadneck. They're just trying to get 7 back.
Christian, he is definitely a playmaker. When he touches the ball, he makes something happen pretty much every time.
He is extremely fun to watch, isn't he?
Definitely, definitely. He's very fast.
Catterton hands one off. McGill finding the hole. Gain of 7.
Oh, another flag on Broadneck, a hold, bringing it back after a positive gain.
That should be about their 5th of the game. Flag pushed them forward a little bit, but now this one will retreat them. And they make the mass exodus to the 30-yard line after being at the 15, or beg your pardon, the 25-yard line.
Seems like Broadneck, every time they get into the red zone, it just doesn't work too well for them so far. They've only been able to come away with 3, and they've been to the red zone, 3-4 times? It's definitely a tough break for them.
They've been in the red zone already this half, but could not score. Fumbled the football. Been in the red zone early in the first half where they missed a field goal. Catterton weaves around again off the hands of Joseph Smarkisi.
I don't think that was the intended receiver that he was looking for. It was a guy behind him, but he reacted, jumped the pass essentially. Couldn't convert and complete, and that was second down. 2nd and 25.
So it stayed first down after the penalty. Didn't get anything to go there. 2nd down and very long coming up here for Broadneck. Catterton awaits this one. They're able to shield him from getting around the edge there, but Catterton really can't go anywhere else. Maybe got 3 yards. 3rd down. That first down marker is all the way at the 5-yard line. Got to go a long ways to try and get there. Another serious play call that Coach Harris needs his players to execute on. You have to imagine they're trying to go to the air on this one. Although 3rd down and long, they worked a run last time. Just gave it to Evans and he worked his magic. 2 they could be looking for again here. 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Catterton rolls to his left, eludes one hit, just tries to get it away, and stepping out of bounds, Alex Passon tried to save it. He may have gotten close to the first down marker had he stayed in, but either way, it is 4th down. Wow, I mean, this one is intriguing. I mean, I feel like you have to go for it now since you're down 21.
For sure, leading left in this quarter, 53 seconds. I mean, I haven't really been able to stop Spalding all game. We need a touchdown, Broadneck. If not, this can definitely get uglier and uglier as this goes into the 4th quarter.
Send it out, everybody here. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Evans is in as the slot guy. 53 seconds. Catterton looks like he might just be going towards the end zone. Jump ball! Incomplete. Batted down nicely in the corner by Tyler Brown. One of the few two-way players on this team for Spalding. Turnover on downs. It's given right back to Spalding, and they could probably see out this quarter, and if they play their cards right, one score certainly puts away this game if there was any chance for Broadneck coming on back in.
Most definitely. That was also a great play by the cornerback, making sure that he does not allow him to come down with that catch.
Sprinting on last moment is Eric Heisch for Broadneck. They do get the playoff here, Spalding, and trying to turn the corner is Hakeem Sims.
Like a horse collar.
It's pushed out of bounds.
No call, though.
Yeah, sure enough, no call. So he has to try and bring that jersey back over his shoulder pads there. Hang on, they're moving the chains on back. Looks like it might have been too many men against Broadneck there. So they got the first, they continued through.
And the bleeding continues for Broadneck.
37 seconds left here in this third quarter. In motion is Igwebe. Instead, Sims jostles forward for a gain of 6. Second down and manageable. Let's see if they run one before the end of the third. Certainly looks like they will. 15 seconds remaining. Washington hands this one off. Sims continues to muscle forward. And that one should certainly be the last play of quarter number 3. Oh, are they going to hustle here? Down to 2. Nope, they will not. And the officials very quick to make sure nothing else happens. So that's it for 3 quarters. It's only 8 points now that Spalding scored in that third quarter, and it's extended them to be leading by 21. They switch sides. We'll step aside to 24-3. Back after this.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and then transitions directly onto the field. That consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
Back here to start the fourth quarter here between Archbishop Spalding and Broadneck. Christian Taylor, J.R. Kent here with you this evening. 24-3, the Cavaliers leading the Bruins. They switch sides one more time here. Washington throws it to his right-hand side, finding Max Moss, still staying inbounds. Another flag is thrown. Ball pops free, but the play was already dragged dead.
That could have changed this game majorly.
He was already going the other way. It was practically in the end zone. But there was a flag away from the action. Let's just see what they whistle here. Would have been some extracurricular activity elsewhere. They will chat about this one here. A call that will just kind of determine the field position for Spalding. And they're going to continue to march that ball down even further. So it looks like that will be going against Broadneck.
As if it couldn't get any worse for Broadneck.
So Moss did well on that reception. They move the chains. They keep them going to the 28-yard line. First down and 10 to go. In motion is Igwebe. Washington handing to Sims. Sims tries to turn the corner. He does. First down, gains a few more after, inside the 15. Sims hasn't been bad, has he? I mean, he's come on here as another wide receiver here after Caden Curtis was getting a lot of the looks early on, and he's made some defenders miss, and they immediately snap it to him again. Sims gains about 4 that time around.
Another late hit, it looks like. If this is another penalty on Broadneck, this is going to put them right inside the 5.
Gonna have to figure, I mean, this is probably just some frustration penalties from Broadneck at this point. final quarter, things have been close but not quite there for them. I mean, that's just it, folks. I mean, you see the 3 on the scoreboard right now. It could definitely be more. It could almost at least be 14 to 17 points for them here. They've had it into the red zone a few times tonight, at least 3 times, including a few times where they've made it beyond midfield and they just haven't been able to get anything from it. 2 turnovers have killed them, as well as these penalties, which is, I mean, it's up to 8 now on the evening. Really couldn't be placed any better for Spalding at the 5. They're looking to make it 31. Washington handing it off to Sims. He's been the man on this drive. Can he put the exclamation mark on it? Inches away from doing so. 2nd down and 1. And Sims will trot off, so they will not end it with him, perhaps. Working their way on is Demarion Hayes. Hayes got it immediately, and Hayes is in for the touchdown.
With that score, you can start to see some of the Broadneck fans leaving because they definitely know this game is over.
There are a few Broadneck fans heading out at the moment as Spalding have added yet another 6. Hayes, the sophomore slot back, standing at 5'7", and the field goal is up and good. So 10:45 to go with 31-3 the score. Wow, I mean, all of a sudden this game has kind of just exploded on Broadneck. And, I mean, the crowd just almost kind of stunned at this point, too. I mean, it was still within arm's reach, and you figured Broadneck needed to do a few things, and it looked like they were about to. 1 turnover, a couple turnovers, really, and that's just kind of where the game has gone to. And this is what Spalding were doing to a lot of teams last year, was just kind of blowing them out. You know, maybe a few teams keeping it close at the start. Like, for instance, last year's matchup between these two teams, Spalding and Broadneck, I believe, were only separated by 1 point at halftime. And second half was all Cavaliers. And it's really turning out to be the same thing here tonight.
This definitely looks like a statement game for Spalding, first game of the season. 31-3.
And it starts off the season on a fantastic tone. Now, and I think if you're Broadneck and Rob Harris, you're looking at this game, you're obviously extremely frustrated, but I think he would know and understand that they were pretty close. I mean, they hung with them for a while. I mean, 10:43 here. They could still make the scoreline look a little bit different by night's end. Certainly Spalding are home and dry, but I have to feel like there are some things that they've been able to do well tonight. Certainly some things to improve on, like taking care of the football, but they weren't too far off the mark this evening, even though it's just 3 points on the scoreboard.
Like you said, like we talked about before the game, Christian, the turnovers and the penalties were definitely the 2 most important things for either team, and Spalding is winning both battles.
Right now running the football to Logan McGill, and doesn't get anywhere on that. 10.5 remaining. And the clock just continues to run here. Both teams still with 3 timeouts. Haven't really needed to use any at this point. I'll tell you what, most of the crowd has stayed. 2nd down. He finds Eli Harris again, takes an instep route. About 6 yards on that carry. 3rd down. He got nothing to lose. You have to assume it's just 4-down territory the rest of the way, as it kind of has been tonight. We saw 2 punts in a span of about 60 seconds, and that's been it. I think, though, if you're Kyle Schmidt, I'll get back to that after this snap here for Broadneck. Catterton, oh, look out. Had to toss away in time just to avoid the sack. It's incomplete for 4th down. After his team, allowed about 40 points in their week 0 matchup, to only allow 3 at least at this point. We're not sure how the final 9 minutes are going to go, but to allow just 3 points to this point, I think you have to be extremely proud of how this defense has really turned things around and kind of locked in tonight.
Hats off to the Spalding defense. They did an outstanding job today. They allowed Broadneck to get to the red zone, but they didn't get flustered. They didn't get frustrated. They just knuckled down and got stops.
Well, to try and prevent any further points, try and push Spalding a little bit deeper, looks like they will try and punt. So I guess it's not 4-down territory the rest of the way for the Bruins. The officials blew the play dead before it could really get started, as they're going to have to march it back to about the 21-yard line.
Another penalty by Broadneck.
Upwards of almost double figures here tonight. Gets the punt off here. It's caught at about the 50-yard line. A fair catch for Tyler Brown, who had an important batted ball earlier in this half, where Broadneck tried going for the end zone, and Tyler Brown stood his ground to make sure that Broadneck could not get more than 3. So it's placed literally right at the 50-yard line. A chance for maybe a few other players to stand out and say, hey, coach, you can put me in this situation. You see the very short Miles Witherspoon is out there, number 19 in the right slot for Spalding. This handoff works its way to Caden Curtis, and the ball pops loose. And Broadneck claiming they have this one. Still waiting for the official point. Spalding keep it. I know that doesn't result in an official turnover, but I know Kyle Schmidt didn't want to see that.
Definitely made you hold your breath for just a little bit. Didn't want to give Broadneck any light.
Although if you're going to do it, this is the time to do it. You're up 31-3. There's another handoff to Curtis. Might as well just give it right back to him. And 3rd down upcoming and about 4 yards to go.
Tackle by number 3.
Less than 8.5 remaining. Washington, they're still kind of keeping their pace. Maybe not quite as rabbit pace as the opening half, but still pretty good for them, keeping the defense out there. And Curtis did really nicely, and the ball also popped out again. This time it is picked up by Broadneck. Blake Levicki was all over it. And you see that Curtis is very slow to get up there and throws his helmet in frustration. Yeah, you see how frustrated he is down there on the sideline. Do feel for him. A couple of fumbles there on that drive, but it was also because he got hit pretty hard. They went right in for that football. Now 1 turnover for Spalding tonight.
And you can see right there, just coach just getting to him right away and just talking to him, letting him know that everybody makes a mistake. Everybody on the field has done something. Don't hang your head. Keep your head up, son. And that's great to see. Like you said, some of the younger players or some of the players that don't really get any playing time get in the game, got an opportunity.
Catterton doesn't know where to go with this. There's a flag, so probably a hold back there.
Another penalty.
And it is a holding.
Holding against the Bruins.
So according to my calculations, I might have missed 1 or 2, but they're officially in double figures at least tonight, Broadneck. And you better believe Rob Harris is going to circle that number, and they are going to be talking about that one. "8 minutes to go," and marches them back to the 20-yard line First down and 20 to go. Takes a snap here, Catterton. Oh, he has not been comfortable in this second half. Just trying to spin away from everything. Still got away. Nearly found Makai Evans. Incomplete as it hit the turf first. Second down, the same distance to go.
I was surprised that he was able to get out of that one. I thought it was for sure a sack for loss. But the quarterback made a play, was able to create some space and not get a negative play right there.
Well, one thing about Catterton tonight, even though, perhaps the yardage and the completions and certainly the touchdown passes aren't really there tonight, you see what he's going to be able to bring to this Broadneck team this year, and he's extremely elusive and hard to tackle.
Most definitely. It was a couple passes early on in the game that were maybe a little bit too far, but it definitely hit the receiver's hands, so that could have changed the game right there. And like you said, yards and touchdowns.
Catterton going to his opposite side. You see him still trying to work free and tosses it out of bounds.
And there he goes right there, just being elusive, just keeping the play alive for even a couple more seconds.
There have been a few moments tonight where it seems like his knee has just about hit the ground and he's still let it go. And you see him right now limping. I mean, he's been working hard tonight.
All those hits he's been taking is starting to look like it's taking a toll on him.
Now, a very interesting fact about Cameron Catterton. I mean, we already mentioned he transferred in, but, his head coach, Rob Harris taught Catterton's mom when she went through school. So just kind of fitting that now he's coaching her son. Tossed in the air, was hit as he threw, intercepted by TJ Moultrie. And it just adds on to the hurt tonight. 3 turnovers. Catterton stayed on the ground for a while. He's back up. That might be it for his night. I don't know if they're going to try working him anymore. Coach Harris has immediately walked his way over to him, but how about the evening for this Spalding defense? 3 turnovers, a couple of interceptions, 1 forced fumble. Catterton now goes down on the field. He couldn't quite continue off to the sideline. He's going to be checked out by the trainers. I mean, let's take a look at this here, JR, tonight. Perhaps the 3 most important players of the evening for Broadneck, at least on the offensive end, in Eli Harris and Makai Evans and Cameron Catterton, have all gone down at some point tonight. Oh, and Ian Malden as well. Their 4 top offensive players tonight have all gone down at some point. Shows you how hard they're working, but how big these Spalding players are. Every hit hurts just so much.
Like you said, every hit. There's been a lot of big hits this game. A lot of guys swarming to the ball. Hasn't been even the positive plays that Spalding have given up. At the end of the plays, it's a nail in the coffin with a great tackle, a great hit. So it's like, even with the positive that Broadneck has had tonight, there was always a negative for them as well. So
let's see the group huddling up right now on your screens at home. Right now they're giving Catterton some water, and they help him to his feet. You just have to imagine that there's no way they're going to try risking him the rest of the way.
Like you said earlier, Christian, this is definitely the time in the game for both teams where you let some of the backups, some of the younger guys get some more reps in, some game reps.
Takes the snap here, hands it off to Curtis. Just putting him right back out there just to try and build up that confidence again after his couple of fumbles on the last drive. 2nd down and 10. So a few other faces out there. Ben Hayes is one of the wide receivers for Spalding on the left side. In motion is Miles Witherspoon. And a little bit of movement going, and a player slow to get up for Spalding. That's big number 77, Caden Leonard, one of the returners. holding that left leg, it looks like, where he's already got, seems like some sort of brace. After the fact, no, I mean, it's all taking a toll on everybody right now.
Like you said, conditioning right now. It's early on in the season. Hydration. I'm not really sure what it's like down on the field. It's pretty cool now. Sun has went down. Hate to see a guy go down late in the game like this.
Leonard's certainly been working really hard tonight as one of those big returners on the line for this team. He's got some experience underneath him and might have a chance to go on to the next level.
It's good to see him get up and walk off on his own power.
Listen to that ovation, huh? Yeah, good to see him get off. Third down for Archbishop Spalding. Takes the snap here and immediately guns one over to Miles Witherspoon. Finds a lot of traffic in front of him and wrestled down after staying at just about the line of scrimmage. Fourth down.
Took a couple guys to bring him down on that play. And they were able to get some positive yards. On the fourth down, they're definitely staying on the field just to keep the clock going. 6 minutes left in the game.
Exactly 6 is correct. 31-3 the scoreline for Archbishop Spalding. Takes a snap again here. Throws one to his left to his same exact man in Witherspoon. Well, they're liking him, and he gets that first down. Move those chains one more time. Been saying that a lot tonight for the Cavaliers.
Similar to the last play, he was able to make some guys miss, get some extra yards, and move the chains. And like you said, another first down for Spalding.
I'd love to try and take down this clock as far as they can. Back to number 14, and Gavin Scruggs.
Carry by number 14, Gavin Scruggs. Gain of 2 on the carry.
5:20 remaining. So Washington, I'll tell you what, he's seen some good stuff tonight. A 96-yard touchdown pass as well. Certainly the big moment of the evening. They're looking at one big highlight after this one. It's going to be that one. Diving in for that one, and a very nice grab by Wanasisi.
Malik is definitely as good as advertised, if not better. He played a very smart game. He didn't really force too much. Didn't really try to go outside of the playbook that coaches set up for them. Knew the spots, knew where to get the ball to his playmakers, and that's why they're winning right now.
Gavin Scruggs will go again.
Gain of 1 on the
and
carry.
gains just 1 there.
By number 14,
It'll be 4th down again. We'll see who else they can try throwing in there. Again, it's just another opportunity to run a couple more plays that maybe you haven't tried too much, or maybe towards the back of the playbook.
Two guys in motion.
Takes the snap again. Hands it off immediately. Scruggs does a nice job there. Spins forward. And it looks like he should have gotten enough there. First down for the Cavs yet again.
taken down by number 3, Braden.
Yeah, they're just going to hold on to this. Just going to hold on to this very methodical drive here. Of course, they're wanting to cap it off really nicely if they can. Gavin Scruggs goes half of the way. 3:15 remaining. Everything has really just stayed the same. Same formation offensively. Really the same play. Shows you how good that line is. Now here's the toss. Bonasisi takes it out of bounds after receiving the pass from Washington. First down, goal to go. And it's set up at about the 7.
Another thing I've noticed with Malik, it seems like he's very comfortable out there. He commands the huddle. It feels like his teammates really believe that when he's on the field, we're going to win every game.
There's a lead.
Is that another touchdown?
Scruggs got very close. He got in, didn't he? That's his second touchdown of the evening. Extends their lead 37-3. That's a night that he's certainly going to remember. And you'd have to imagine that kind of puts him into the fold perhaps. So you got a very 3 strong running backs for Spalding here on the season, as the extra points is good. But, I mean, you think about it here tonight. Caden Curtis, who has shown he can do tonight, is, you know, as well as Gavin Scruggs doing his thing as well. And, I'll tell you what. And, you know, as well as Sims, Hakeem Sims doing his thing. So 3 guys who can all kind of do their thing. So not only does the pass game look very strong, and what Max Moss is able to do as a wide receiver, obviously what Malik Washington can do as quarterback, but now you got a pretty decent running game. Really a running game that it seemed like almost every play tonight, they've at least been gaining some sort of yardage. There really haven't been many plays stopped short for the Cavs tonight.
Yeah, they've been really having their way pretty much, besides maybe 1 or 2 possessions. Other than that, they've been able to move the ball however they want, pass, run. Their defense did an outstanding job tonight. They're looking like a well-rounded team. Special teams didn't give up anything. They even got a safety. So if this is the beginning of the season, this should be a great season for Spalding going forward. Should be an exciting season for sure.
As they're trying to forget what happened last year, the way that they ended things. That one's dropped into the end zone, so I'll just record this as a touchback for Broadneck. The clock is rolling, by the way, for this final minute. But, falling just short last year, losing to McDonough. It looks like a timeout might be called here with 54 seconds. But they're trying to change that this year. And, Coach Schmidt told me, fortunately for his side, I mean, they were very senior heavy. And they got a lot of guys now who really didn't have all this playing time last year. So, I mean, of course, they were part of the team, but they don't really remember it quite as much as, the team who was out there last year. So it's a fresh memory, a chance to kind of just get going again for the first time and pursue what they want to pursue. And Coach Schmidt told me he really, really likes this group. He knows this team can do some special things. Wanted to figure a few things out tonight. Figured out a lot of good things about his team. I know there's still going to be a few things out there he's going to want to change, but certainly some more that they'd like to pursue with. The new quarterback out there is Calvin Watkins, as he found Makai Evans, who else, honestly, and made a nice run towards the sideline and pretty hard hit out of bounds.
They even ran over one of the coaches over there on Broadneck's sideline. Hopefully he's okay.
Gosh. It's something you do not want to see. Unfortunately, that's just been the evening for really everybody physically, but for Broadneck as well. Our number one concern right now is the health and safety of this gentleman right here. That's Makai Evans rolling in, fully padded. Right now he's responding and he's back and sitting up at the moment. It looks like he is very responsive right now. Yes, excellent. Back to his feet. Good. All right. Fantastic to see. Scary moment here with about 45 seconds to go. Yeah, he's back. He's talking. Good. All right. Back to the final 45 seconds here tonight. And seeing if Broadneck can get any more than 3 points. Now, I mean, looking at it, that 3 points might have been a good shout from Coach Harris, because had they tried for the touchdown and missed it, they'd still probably be at 0 at the moment. And he's going long this time around, looking for Harris. Batted away really nicely. Tell you what, the corners have been excellent tonight, too, for Archbishop Spalding.
That looks like a younger corner that just got in to get an opportunity and make a play. Didn't allow any yardage on that. Shout out to the cornerback.
Kari Wilson was the man there to break up that pass. Second down.
Timeout, Broadneck.
Looks like a timeout for Broadneck. So Rob Harris maybe just getting something put together to get some more points out there on the scoreboard.
Something.
Wow. Interesting evening tonight. With the score at about 16-3, there were a few indications that maybe you could head this way, but you felt like maybe Broadneck would at least get a few more up there. And it's certainly not the case as the night has continued along. You got to just give credit to the home side for the resiliency and just never quitting tonight.
Well, they definitely dominated at all aspects of this game.
Watkins sprints through the pack. Incomplete. Oh, no, they will call that one a catch. The near official said no go, but they will move that football forward.
Oh.
It looked like that to me, right? Then the near
like it hit the
official
ground,
saying complete. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I was going crazy. Yeah, this could be the last play now. Watkins just hurling one towards the end zone. And looks like a clean play defensively. Wow, what a matchup for Archbishop Spalding. What a game. And all the cameras right now on Malik Washington as he leads his team out for the handshake line at the midfield logo. I mean, there was a lot of scoring in this game. Hard to go through it. Basically, the score was 16-3, including a safety there due to a poor snap on a punt in the first half. Broadneck had hit the red zone about 3 times on the evening, turned over the ball 3 times on the evening as well. Couldn't get any points on the board in the second half, but all the scoring in this second half, I mean, it was 22 points put up by Spalding tonight, and perhaps the cream of the crop right after a fumble at about the 5-yard line for Broadneck. It was a 96-yard touchdown pass to Max Moss from Malik Washington, and that really continued things through tonight. JR, any final thoughts from what was really almost all Cavaliers tonight?
Great game by the Cavs. It was a pleasure doing this with you tonight, Christian. Not much more to say other than Spalding dominated this game. They started the season off very well. And it should be an exciting season for them going forward. I'm excited to see what they do from this game.
Absolute pleasure to have you with me here in the booth as well. Special thanks to our entire crew working this one, Mr. Paul Garza, who is an absolute god running everything behind the scenes and making sure everything is all organized and ready to go for this one. For my partner, Mr. J.R. Kent, I'm Christian Taylor signing off here one final time. Our score, Archbishop Spalding 38, Broadneck High School 3. We'll see you next time, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night and stay safe.